Hi, my name is Tracy Palmore, and today I would like to cover a topic that might affect us all at some point in our life, or at least somebody that we know: depression. But more specifically, I would like to discuss major depressive disorder. I will highlight the symptoms and characteristics of MDD, other possible health outcomes, the importance of seeking help for ourselves and others, and just a short summary of my own experience with depression. Before I discuss major depressive disorder, I would like to first cover the DSM-5. The DSM-5 is simply a classification system that those within the psychology field use in determining on how to diagnose a patient with a disorder. So basically, it provides criteria for an accurate diagnosis in different mental disorders. MDD is a mood disorder that is characterized by feelings of sadness or loss of interest, and one of those two things must be present. It's unipolar in nature in that it's just accompanied with those lows. So in comparison to something like bipolar disorder that has both manic highs and depressive lows, MDD is only associated with those depressive lows. So the symptoms that must be present is what I'll cover next. They're the criteria for a diagnosis. There must be at least 5 of the 9 that are listed in the DSM present within the individual. These must also not be contributed to any other disorder or any underlying medical condition. So examples of a few of these could be depressed mood, which would occur every day for the majority of the day, fatigue, loss of interest, reoccurring thoughts of suicide, an impairment in daily functioning, or sleeping problems such as insomnia or sleeping for a great period of time. That's just a few of the symptoms that may be present with somebody suffering with this disorder. For my second point, I would like to cover the importance of seeking help for yourself or encouraging somebody else to seek help who might be experiencing some of these symptoms. Because MDD can present symptoms that are associated with other medical conditions, it's important that we be extremely honest with ourselves about our mental health, or honest with other people about what we're experiencing, or simply be more self-aware. You may be asking yourself why someone who is experiencing these symptoms may not seek help right away. Well, there could be multiple reasons for this. One, the stigma that is often surrounding mental health disorders. Number 2, fear or shame that they won't be believed, or simply a misunderstanding of the disorder itself. Furthermore, primary care physicians may not recognize symptoms that an individual has as depression. So it's extremely important that we seek out help if someone is experiencing these things, and seek it out early as possible, for positive health outcomes. The third point that I would like to discuss is simply my own journey with depression. I've experienced symptoms for several years now. It wasn't until a few years ago that I realized that I needed to make a change. I wasn't getting better. I was sad all the time. And I knew I needed additional help. I simply couldn't do it on my own. There was no way that I was going to be able to fight this. And after talking with a friend, she advised me to see a counselor. And I did. And after a few sessions, I began to improve. And I also had a bit of medical intervention with medication, which also provided some relief. And over time, I realized that I was getting better and I was becoming stronger. And I also incorporated other things in my life, such as exercise, prayer, better sleeping habits, and other things that really contributed to my overall health. During this process, I realized just how important mental health is. Our very thinking can shape our lives in a significant way, either for the positive or for the negative. It also reminds me of the scripture, Ephesians 4:23, and be continually renewed in the spirit of your mind. This is a great reminder to me. It reminds me that God knows exactly what I'm thinking. It reminds me that I have to be incredibly aware of my thoughts and just how important those are to my life. So in conclusion, I have covered the symptoms and characteristics of MDD. I've covered other health outcomes. I've covered the importance of seeking help for yourself or for those around you, and just a brief summary of some things that I've experienced. I would like to continue to grow in this area. I'd like to eventually help the other people experience positive health outcomes for their future. Now that I have covered this area and given you a brief description of this depressive disorder, how might you use this to make a positive impact in your life, or even in somebody else's life that's around you? You may also be considering taking a personal inventory of your emotional life, or even your thinking concepts. I hope that you do, because I believe that if you do this, you'll have a greater future. Thank you.